Look, I want to talk about the Wizards and how good their team's going to be. The Wizards, obviously one of the youngest teams in the league. They have some talented players, points per game, 7 rebounds. And the dude has a jump shot. He's shown that he can make 3-pointers. He's shown that he could go to the basket and create his own shot. And although he's not the best at it, him being able to show that he has the ability to do that is so important, because when Trey Young comes around, he's going to be wide open so much more, and he's going to space out the floor way better. Look, Trey Young, he's never had a shooting big in his career. When we talk about Alex R, he's the first 7-footer who can shoot that's going to play next to Trey. That's going to be very exciting. Keyshawn George, great 3-point shooter, 3-point specialist. He's shooting 38% from 3, and he's not a player you want to leave wide open. And not only that, but he could attack closeouts too. He could go to the rim. And again, just more spacing of Trey Young. Bub Carrington, look, I will say this, inconsistent as hell on offense, but he's a very great defender, especially from the perimeter. And having a great perimeter defender with Trey Young, look, it can make up for some of Trey Young's defensive flaws too. Justin Champagnie, decent catch and shoot player. Trey Johnson, 3-point specialist. Bilal Coulibaly, also pretty mediocre on offense, but a good defender too. And look, when you talk about the Wizards, you're talking about a very young team that just got one of the best playmakers in the league. And it's not like the Wizards had anything to lose here. Prior to the Trey Young trade, they didn't have much. Obviously, they had the young talent around him, Alex R, Keyshawn George, Trey Johnson, but they didn't really have that one player that could take them to the playoffs. Boom, here comes Trey Young. And he's going to take this team. He's going to get everybody more looks. He's going to space out the floor. He's going to run a lot of pick and rolls. And I think the best part about the Wizards situation, especially if you're a Wizards fan, and look, if you're a Wizards fan, you should be very happy right now, because once the draft comes around, they are going to be insane. If they can get a top 3 pick, and look, it could be AJ DeBosta, Cam Boozer, or Darren Peterson. If they could get one of those players, then we're talking about a top 5 seed next year with the Wizards. Because we just gotta think about it, man. If they get a top 3 draft prospect on top of what they have right now, that's a lot of talent already. A lot of youthful talent too. All they have to do is bring in a veteran. Bring in a veteran player, maybe a few other trades, and we're talking about a pretty complete team right here. Look, getting Trey Young unlocks so much because he makes other players better. I know he has some questionable shots sometimes, and I would agree with that. But in terms of being a playmaker, he knows how to get people open. He has great court vision. And the dude just has a really good sense for the game. So if somebody like a Darren Peterson can walk into Washington and just be a great scorer, that's all you're going to need next to Trey Young, because he's going to get a lot of open looks at Trey Young. Same for AJ DeBosta, same for Cam Boozer. Look, I also forgot to mention Cam Whitmore. Unlike the other players on the Wizards who are kind of unproven right now, Cam Whitmore, he's been proven on the Rockets. We know him as a pretty solid shooter, but a great slasher to the rim. Great athletic player. He can dunk the hell out of the ball. This is going to be a great off-ball player. This is going to be an amazing off-ball player with Trey Young. And one thing I will say with Trey, he has to get better defense. And whether that's just having more awareness on defense, or just upping his defensive skills, or just sliding his feet more, becoming better at defense, he has to do something. Because if he can be at least okay on defense, even just bad, it makes it easier for Washington to defend possessions. But honestly, the draft could do so much for the Wizards if they get the right prospect. But that's just my thoughts, man. What are y'all thoughts on the Wizards? Do y'all think they're going to be a top 5 seed next year or not? If y'all liked the video, leave a like, turn on notifications, subscribe to the channel. I'm not SGA, becoming Mr. Consistent. And until later, I'll see you on Mars. Peace.
You telling me you falling out of love with me. Hope you can find someone to love you better than I did. Taking our memories on love and treating it like nothing. Taking our memories on love and treating it like gossip. It's my love for my grandmother make me gentle when I care for you. Tell me you're falling out of love, she's breaking my heart in two.